Finally, after months of procrastination and reflection, I'm finally launching my public build. Originally, I was supposed to start it at the launch of my software as a service, but I thought I should rather focus on building something decent that works, and then if it works, why not launch my little series of build in public? So this is the first episode of what I hope will be a long series. The idea of this first episode is Sonwasaso. It's about introducing myself, presenting a bit of my software as a service, and then describing my journey, how I came to create my software as a service, what challenges I encountered, what solutions I found to solve those challenges, my objectives, what milestones we have also reached in terms of my software as a service. Maybe talking about it, it will be interesting. The idea is to share my journey with you, to share my experiences, and as we go along, we move forward together, sharing my struggles, my successes, what I learn, what I discover. And the idea is to take it as far as possible, simply, and maybe afterwards I will do other series, other software as a service. We'll see. So, for those who do not know me, my name is Kevin. I am 23 years old and I make software as a service. My background was not at all originally in computer science or in software as a service or anything related to that. I have a professional background, did a bodywork diploma if you know it. I didn't finish high school, stopped at vocational. That it was in alternating education, I didn't like it at all, clearly not. As soon as I got my vocational diploma, the first thing I did was go directly into the restaurant industry because it's a field that interests me a little more. I wanted to be a bit more autonomous, have a bit of money, and so I jumped into the restaurant business. I first worked in fast food, then I stayed almost 3 years in a slightly more conventional restaurant. I was a pizza maker, so I stayed 3 years as a pizza maker, but it was during the COVID pandemic that I realized I didn't really like it either. I liked that field, but I couldn't see myself continuing in the long term. It wasn't something I was passionate about either. I always had a bit of an attraction to technology, etc. So I tried my hand at programming, and then I discovered that I loved it, and I thought, okay, why not dive into that? I went for it headfirst, and I started with a training course at Open Classrooms. For those who know, basically it's a 6-month training where you learn all the basics of front-end and back-end development through projects that you then present to a professional. Once you have validated all the milestones, all the projects, well, you get your diploma, which is like a 2-year degree. So then I didn't want to stop there and dive headfirst into the job market. I said to myself, okay, why not improve myself if we can say that? Not perfect myself if we can say that. So I started with a bachelor's degree in full stack development. It was the title of the degree. DevOps 2. It's a 1-year work-study course. I managed to find a front-end developer position as an apprentice at the last minute. I am in a company that trusted me. Okay, so to recap, I was saying that I found a position as a front-end developer in a company that trusted me. I spent a year there. It went well. I learned quite a bit, and in parallel, I was doing little projects here and there. It was great. I had good teachers and interesting people I met. It was a good experience. Then I didn't even want to stop there because there was a field that interested me, which was blockchain. In fact, everything related to blockchain development is a bit why I got into web development. I started a training program at EGI for those who know it. It's something really specialized in blockchain development. To be honest, I spent 6 months there. So I was an intern, a full stack dev. In fact, what happened in parallel is that there was a friend of mine who is a YouTuber who wanted to translate his YouTube channels, or rather his videos. He didn't know how to do it. There were no tools at that time, and he was doing really well. He told me, Kevin, I know you develop and everything. I know you're a bit into it. Could you make me something like that? Automate a little thing, a little script to translate my videos and have a good result at the end? Because he was really doing it manually and it was a gas setup. It was a nightmare. All solutions were super pricey. Kevin asked me to do a quick thing. I said, okay, I'll try it. And a few weeks later, I believe I present him something, but without an interface. It was just through my terminal. I trained a video and it output the translation. Bugs galore, but he dug the idea. And little by little, he told me, come on, Kevin, let's partner up. I know a bit about the YouTube game. I know a bit about marketing, etc. I'll handle all the marketing part. You handle all the development part, and there you go. We partner up like that. We're two and we'll go faster. I said, okay, come on, let's go. We partnered on the project. I started to really develop the thing to have something stable enough. as soon as I had the back end. So the application programming interface that was ready, I launched into the front end, it was quite a big challenge. This front end, I developed it for several months, and it was in May that I officially launched, let's say the day I launched on Product Hunt. For those who do not know, Product Hunt is basically an American platform, if I'm not mistaken, where you can launch your startup. Everyone does it. You launch your startup at midnight, I believe it's at San Francisco time, at the same time as a lot of other people. And the goal is to reach the top of the ranking with the most votes possible. And so the higher you are in the ranking, the more visibility you have, the more visitors you have, and the greater your chances of having potential buyers. So I launched Hunt. It worked. We can say it went well. I think I was in 6th place. I got quite a bit of traffic. I was very happy, but we didn't manage to convert. Looking back, I would say it's because of our prices. In fact, we set our prices a bit too high. We were inspired by a strategy from Alex Hormozi. He's an American who is in the marketing field, and he's very, very good. I recommend you check out his content. I'll give you a summary, but basically, we struggled then for the several months that followed. We made 0 sales, almost maybe 1 or 2 clients. As soon as we had the first client, we were super happy, but before going further into the story, it might be good for me to present to you what the tool is. So basically, as I told you, it's a software as a service, so directly on the web. No need to install anything. You enter the URL, you sign up with Google, and the idea is that you simply import your video, whether it's you can import your video either via a YouTube link or through a file. You choose the languages you want to translate. You translate, you click on the project, you review if everything is okay, and then you start the translation, and it will clone your voice. So the original voice in the video, it will also clone the voices, because it's possible that there are several people in the video. We will clone all that, and then you have a translated video as if it were a professional dubbing. I'm not saying we achieve such a level of professional production quality, but we try to get as close as possible in any case. And the idea is that in the end, you have your translated video. There are even customization options. You can add voices that we have already recorded. In fact, we offer voices in our library, and thanks to that, you can have the video for 5 times less expensive in terms of tokens, because we use a token system. It's basically a bit like the monetary system of the application called VoiceCheap. We also offer an option, for example, to record your own voice or someone else's voice, and then reuse it in the project and thus translate your video with it. We have various customization options that are really cool. I think that's mainly what sets us apart from the competition. And we drastically reduce costs if you choose not to clone your voice, because that's what costs us the most. But you can reduce costs, as I just said, by choosing our voice library. We can also do lip sync, which is currently in beta. Basically, you press a button, and once your video is translated, you can activate the lip sync and it will synchronize the lips of the person speaking in the video with the sound, and it allows for a more realistic result. So to recap a bit on the journey of VoiceCheap, we launched it and we reached a point, thanks to a big client, where we had achieved 1,000 euros of monthly recurring revenue. To be frank, these are the numbers we reached. It's continuing to grow little by little, and recently, because in fact I didn't tell you, but what my partner was doing on the marketing side is that we were doing everything fully organically. We didn't have any money for ads. We didn't have any money to spend on Facebook or Google or anything like that. So we said we would do it fully organically. We would create a YouTube channel. We would make tutorials. In any case, he would take care of it. He made tutorials. We made shorts, posts on Instagram, etc. At the beginning, it didn't work too well. It takes time to take off. But then, little by little, we managed to gain traction. In addition, we managed to achieve good SEO. So we had traffic from Google and traffic from YouTube, and all our clients mainly came from there. And thanks to that, we managed to land a big client who took an annual subscription with 50% off. So that was about 12,000 euros. It was huge. I was really happy because it was a big step. We finally created the company, set up in SaaS, invested in design, redid the logo, etc. And I was even able to hire a friend of mine, a developer, to help me a little with the front-end part. That's what allowed us a bit to... It's not taking off because it's still very recent, But thanks to this, we will be able to start advertising, recruit people, and maybe even see later if it continues to work. But here, I really spared you all the hassle of the launch phase until the phase where we sign a big client. We really struggled. It was really not easy. We really underestimated the difficulty of launching a software as a service. For those who are starting out, guys, don't think it's easy. There is an enormous amount of competition. If you follow a bit of the Twitter sphere, it's not easy at all. There are big names who earn a lot thanks to their software as a service, but in fact, don't believe that's the reality. The reality is that there is a huge part, the hidden part of the iceberg, where there are tons of people struggling because it's very competitive. It is becoming easier and easier to launch a software as a service today, thanks to artificial intelligence and the new software that is coming, notably thanks to Cursor, for example. There is a big marketing part that should not be neglected because, sure, you may have a good product, which was the case, at least to some extent, I estimate, for us in all modesty. We did have a pretty good product at that time, but we really had terrible marketing. We couldn't even advertise to test our features, our ideas, etc. So that's a big mistake we made. We are learning little by little. I connect with other indie hackers, other SaaS developers. We are learning little by little. I hope that we will find the right strategy to grow our SaaS. We even started doing a bit of affiliate marketing. It didn't work. We've had maybe 1 or 2 affiliate sales. We didn't highlight it. Another strategy that we should perhaps consider, that we think about doing, is to highlight it much more, to create a system, a page that is much more attractive for people who want to do affiliate marketing. So clearly, the goal, since we are at 4 digits of monthly recurring revenue, is to raise it to 5. We can try to do it before 2025. I will share all of that, the progress, etc. But it is really the big objective, given that now we have a bit of cash flow to do advertising. I am working on some big, very interesting features that the competition does not offer. I can't wait to present all of this to you as well. It was just a first video to introduce the topic, the tool, and my background. I'll share updates in future episodes. To follow along, find me on Twitter. I'm most active there, and a bit on Instagram too. Check out my SaaS, see what I've done, and share your thoughts. And there you go. We will see each other soon for the next episode.